Clopen Effect, a retail podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us today. I'm your host, Meredith.
And I'm your host, Cass.
Let's have some fun.
Do it. Just do it.
I was like, here, let me tell you something real quick. Nope, let's just hit the record button because I think this is good for everyone to hear. So I started to get to the point. Look at me still messing around with this. I just spilled my drink. I don't know. It's all messed up.
Why? There's nothing wrong with it. It's
right
fine.
Here. This is bothering.
Leave
This
it.
right here. There. That was bothering me.
OMG.
I know, but I only want the one cord on there.
She's going to get us a zap. Spilled
my drink. Moving cords around. I little OCD. I'm sorry about that.
A little bit.
Okay. So, the past couple weeks, first of all, let me just say I love my job.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm so fortunate, lucky. Every morning I wake up and I'm like, I'm excited to go to work.
That's sick.
I know. It's gross. It's gross. I just love my job. I love everything I do. I have a super supportive boss, like that is just like so calm. He's so positive. Like I will start to get super excited about something and start saying something. He'll be like, well, and it's just, he's just so positive. I'm like, amazing. So, but it happens to all of us, right? So that being said, the past couple Sundays around 3 p.m., I start getting a stomach ache. Like
you get it's called the Sunday scaries.
Yeah, the Sunday scaries.
Yeah.
And I just am like, what am I doing this week? It's the same old, same old. And I know that it wasn't anything bad.
Yeah.
I've had jobs where Sunday came or not even Sunday because they were retail.
It's just your day
Tuesday
off.
would come around before a Wednesday start of 10 days, and I'd just be like, gross, feeling gross.
Yeah.
And so it happened again this Sunday. So last Sunday I was like, and the whole week was kind of like, I didn't really want to travel. I went to Louisville and I didn't really want to travel. I even told my boss, I'm like, I'm not even sure I'm going to go. And then of course he talked to me and said, I think it would be great, build relationships because he's Mr. Positive and Sunshine.
Yeah.
And so of course I went and had a great time.
Yeah.
Was able to bring some stuff home, had a great re-grand at the store and all that fun stuff. So then again on Sunday, it happened around 3:00. Steve and I were up in Lake Geneva. We love to walk the path. We had some lunch and I started to get that feeling and I immediately noticed it and thought, what are you upset about?
Yeah.
Like you're going to have a great week.
Yeah.
You love your job. You love the people around you. You get to record the podcast, maybe two of them, because we have a guest on Thursday. And I'm like, what are you being a baby about? Basically is what happened.
I think, we all get into our own head. And like you said, because it's like the same old routine. You do this and then you go here and then you do that.
Yeah.
And it's just like.
But I kind of like talked myself, like yesterday, I talked myself like into just being in a better mood.
Yeah.
But I think what I was doing, which is why I thought maybe we could talk about this, is I wasn't balancing life and work.
Yeah.
So, Saturday afternoon, I was thinking about, that's right, I forgot to email that person. Sunday afternoon, okay, let me just look at my week and see. I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
I don't log in until, 8:00, 9:00 Central Time, Monday through Friday. If I wanted to, I could get up at 7 or 8. I could do my running. I like to run, and I could still give myself a half an hour to look through my week.
Right.
I don't have to do that on a Sunday.
If I get emailed like past 5:00 on a Friday, nope.
It's not being read till Monday.
No.
So let's remind everyone, we do work Monday through Friday.
Yes.
Now. But we didn't. So we get you. We understand.
Right.
Sarah from Two Chicks Talking Flicks mentioned, get used to having Wednesday, Thursdays as your weekend when you're working retail.
Yeah.
But so that would go the same. If someone received an email on Tuesday night and they were off the next 2 days, you read that shit on Friday.
And you read it when you get to work, not before.
Yes.
When you clock in.
Yes. You have to.
Like I get to work in the morning and I finish my little bit of coffee I have left in my cup. I go through my emails. I see like what's on fire right now. What do we need to do? What's priority? And then I go in, I give myself a little 15-minute refresher of what's going to happen this week.
But you don't think about it on your 2 days off. You let your mind rest.
Sundays are the same for me.
Okay.
Like I've told my mom before, like, I got the Sunday scaries. And she was like, don't think about it. Just enjoy your time off. And I'm like, but I know I got to do this week,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess it depends on what I know is coming Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Tuesdays are almost worse than Monday. Because it's like, it's the second day of the week. And it's like, it's been the longest week ever. And it's only Tuesday.
Yeah. So what I have kind of learned to do, which I think I haven't, which is why this happened to me these past couple Sundays, is I actually have a block on my calendar on Friday to look through the next week, prep for next week.
Yeah.
So at, let's say 2:30 on Friday, I start early on Friday. So let's say 2:30 on Friday, I go and look ahead at my calendar and I block off everything that I need.
Yeah.
Like I need to do this on Tuesday. I need to do this on Thursday. And then really, once I close the laptop, once I'm done on Friday, I truly don't think about it until Monday because I've already prepped for that week.
Yeah.
But I think I didn't do that the past couple weeks
Okay.
because I was busy.
You
and then I had things going. Yeah, I was
stuff,
traveling and stuff. So then I really didn't have that block of time to look for into the future, right? So, yeah, I think that was. So I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about how do we separate it. And actually, we had quite a few people respond to something that we posted, and we got private messages like looking forward to this episode because I do not do that. I think of work 100%.
Well, right now we are in July.
Yes.
We're almost into August. We are well halfway through the year. I hope you have all used your vacation time, like
Or
kids are
most.
going back to school.
Uh-huh.
Like I hope you all have taken time for yourself and said, F that job for a few days at least and went and had fun and enjoyed the family because working retail, you always work the holidays. You're always screwed on the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you don't, say 4th of July, okay, and you want to go see the fireworks, even if you don't work that day and you do get to spend the day like barbecuing with your family and then go to see the fireworks, you probably got to be there the next morning, so it's just like it sucks. So I say, take your vacation time, absolutely, and say F that job for a few days.
I had a boss tell me once that, so I decided that, when was this? Like a few years ago. Was this? Yeah, it was a few years ago. So I started taking some Fridays or some Mondays off so I would have a long weekend.
Yeah.
So it'd be like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And he actually told me, I really don't like that. And I thought it was going to be a negative conversation. He said, I would prefer that you took a whole week. Just shut everything down for a week. Or do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I like my long weekends.
And he explained it to me. He said, because you're still kind of thinking, let's just say I took off a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. He's like, you're still kind of probably responding back to things on Friday. Are you really taking your time off?
Yeah.
Then you do have your Saturday, Sunday, which you're kind of used to it. But then Sunday, you're already thinking about Monday.
Right.
You need a fourth day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you look at it as like a, what do you call it? Like bookends. You really don't rest your mind that first day. You're still kind of thinking about maybe a customer that you talked to the day before or something that you did the day before or, a task you had to do.
Right.
So do you really get that Friday off?
Yeah.
Then maybe you do take Saturday, Sunday, but then Sunday, the other side of the bookend, you're already thinking about Monday. So he's like, take a long weekend.
Yeah.
Take Friday, Monday off. Or like if it's retail, take Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Or, if your boss makes you work weekends, we know it's fine. You do. Can you take Monday through Thursday off?
Right.
They give you vacation for a reason.
No way. I would, even when I worked retail, I would be like, screw this place. I don't care. I take a whole week.
I know. But, some people can't, and we know this.
I know.
They pay you nothing, and they want you there all the time.
What do you mean they can't? Because,
no, I know.
There's always a way,
Yeah.
Like, if you train your team well, like if you're in manager position and you train your team well, like if you're just a team member, seriously F that place, they can live without you for a week.
Absolutely.
And if they can't, then they need to seriously give you a raise.
They were there before you, they'll be there after you.
So fuck that place.
It's true. That's true. And you know what? And I think it's gotten better.
Yeah.
I really think it's gotten better in retail. I don't know, people can correct me here, but when I worked in retail, I had a boss that I would, in January, let's say I had 3 weeks off. I would go and put all of them in for the year because I knew there were certain days during the holidays that I wanted off. Not the holiday, right? Because we know how that works in retail.
Yeah.
But I would take like a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off, in between the holidays, and I would take like certain weekends off, and they would always get denied.
Yeah.
She would wait.
And
I would put it in January or February and then deny it the last minute. Say, oh, I can't do that. But then she would be off.
You fucking bitch.
And it would be random days. Like, I knew I had to work all the holidays, but I have to tell everyone that was the last year that I worked in retail.
Yeah.
That, like, I'm still in retail, but I work Monday through Friday.
You're
it's a little
corporate.
bit okay.
She's
But it's still
corporate,
retail.
bitch.
Hey, I saw you in stores today.
I know. We ran into each other.
The last year that happened, where I had put everything in January, February, and then almost all but one got denied, and she was off, I knew I had to move on because that's just misery.
Yeah.
But so I'm hoping that it's getting better. If it's not, let's work on that. Let's be better people.
I remember like waitressing and bartending. Like I did both of those jobs for probably about 12, 14 years. And it, I've talked about it before. It was like waitressing. You would do, we had Thursday night prime rib. We had Friday night fish fry. And then you got to work Saturday, Sunday morning, right? So I would go out drinking Thursday night and I'd be able to sleep in Friday. But then Friday after the fish fry rush, then I'd go out again and then wake up. You got to be up at like 5 a.m. on Saturday to be to the restaurant by 6 and work till 2:30, 3 o'clock, and then go out that night and party it up again and then do it all again Sunday morning and then have Monday off,
Yeah.
And
gosh.
bartending too, it was like I would go in, like I think bartending, I had like Tuesday, Wednesdays off. I worked Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, And I think at both of those jobs, because again, at bartending, I would open the bar at 10:30, 6 o'clock I would get off and I would just go to the other side of the bar. I would close the bar, sitting on the other side of the bar, and then come back at 10:30 in the morning and do it all over again. And it was just disgusting.
Draining. That's draining.
But those two jobs, I probably called off a handful of times in that 12, 14 years.
Yeah, right. You liked being there.
There was not even that. There was nobody to replace you.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Oh, I thought you just meant like it was fine. It was
there was nobody to replace
nobody,
you.
So you couldn't call off.
You couldn't call off. If you called in, like say I was working the 6 p.m. till 2 a.m. shift.
Yeah.
If I called off, basically that person that worked opened at 10:30 would have to stay there till 2 a.m. Like there was nobody else to call.
Right.
Unless you could get another bartender to come in, which everybody had their own set schedule, They planned everything around their days off. They're not coming in on their day off.
So 12 years, handful of times you called off. So you always made every shift. So first you were a fantastic employee.
Yeah.
Do you remember feeling burnt out or like getting up and like, here we go again?
Yeah. I remember, so this is terrible. I don't know if I ever told this story on here. So my sister worked with me at the restaurant and she was pregnant with my oldest nephew. And she literally worked up until the day she gave birth. Wow. And the one day she was like, can you work for me today? Like, I don't feel good. And I was like, dude, I do not want to work today. Like, it's my day off. Like, I do not want to pick up another shift. And she had an appointment the next day and she gave birth the next day. And I was like, that bitch was like having pregnancy pains and I made her go to work.
She was in labor.
Sorry. I still think of that to this day. Like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that to her. But you would get so burnt out from it. Like, and then you'd see the same people and it's the same jokes. And, it's just like any other job where you work with the public.
Sure.
Annoying.
Yeah. Stop with the same jokes,
Stop
people.
Can I get you anything else? $1 million. Shut the fuck up and pay your bill and get out. Leave me a good tip.
Oh gosh. So a couple things, like I just mentioned Sarah from Two Chicks Talking Flicks. She actually just started a new podcast. We will share that. It's about being 40 and like funny. And she shared a clip.
I know all about being
super
40.
funny. And for the life of me, I can't think of what the name it is, but we'll share it. She said, embrace making Wednesday, Thursday your new Saturday, Sunday, which is what you just said, having Tuesday, Wednesdays off. And I remember that. I think I always had Tuesday, was it Tuesday, Sundays? Or something like that, or Wednesday, maybe Wednesday, something. I didn't have them together.
Right.
So I just was always burnt out because you need to have 2 days together. You need the first day to either do all your regular stuff or rest and then flip that.
The nice thing about working retail was, if, say you had to work the early shift, then you could come home, do some laundry, do a couple chores, sleep in the next day on your day off. Yeah. And then kind of get the rest of your chores done and go to the bank and run your errands and whatever, So that was nice. I did kind of like having my 2 days separated. I've been at my job now. It'll be 3 years next month. Can you believe it? 3 years already?
Yeah, no,
That's
I can't
so
believe
crazy.
that.
And it took me just about this long to get used to having Saturday, Sunday off.
Yeah.
It was just like, it was hard working 5 days in a row.
Yeah.
Even though working retail, sometimes we would do 9, 10, 11 days in a row.
Yep.
But it was once in a while. You didn't do that consistently, so.
Towards the end, I did. I had 10 days that I would work and then 2 days off. But within those 10 days, I had a lot of Clopens.
Yeah.
It would be close, open, open, close, open, open. It was just disgusting.
That is sick.
I just got burnt out. So Annie says she's not sure how. It's like one extreme or the other. Maybe she can find some pointers here when we're talking.
Sorry, Annie, I don't really have any. Our friend Annie, the hairdresser, right?
Yeah,
that's
yep, she was on. She was on.
And that's like,
the
you work
podcast.
funky hours when you do that, right?
Yeah.
Because people randomly call you like, well, I know you're not like technically open, but can you stay there till 8 o'clock when I get off of work?
Boundaries.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you have to have. But that would be hard, right? Because Annie does hair.
Yeah.
So you maybe have like someone that comes in at 9 o'clock in the morning, then you may have like some time in between.
Right.
Let's say till lunch, you have someone, and then someone calls that day and says, I'm work till 5. Can you see me at 6? That's a long day.
It's a long day.
You're doing hair, then you're sitting, then you're doing hair, and then you have to decide if you're gonna see that person at 6 or 7.
Yeah. And that's
a long day.
My sister-in-law, Kendra, that was also on the show, she does hair too. And she like goes to like the nursing home and she'll do hair.
Yes.
And then she'll go to her own salon and do hair. And then she'll go bartend after that. And I'm like, you are fucking nuts.
She's crazy.
Yeah. And so then I yell at my stepbrother. I'm like, are you doing the dishes, Tyler? Better be doing those dishes for Kendra and cooking her dinner.
We've only mentioned that every week.
Yeah.
So Shannon says it's tough, but she thinks after 17 years, she's figured it out.
Yeah.
She makes sure to have the same days off. Now, she's a manager.
Yes.
So she makes sure to have the same days off each week, which is hard in retail. But that way she can plan like doctors, family days, date nights around her hectic schedule.
Yeah.
So she definitely has it down.
I think probably like the last 3 or 4 years at my retail job, I managed to get Wednesdays and Sundays off.
I feel
so
like
that wasn't
was
bad. Yeah.
Yes, I feel like that was mine too, but then I also feel like I was always working the weekends.
Yeah.
So
well, you probably always worked Friday, Saturday, and then open Sunday.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
You know what's sick is I look at like my Facebook memories or I like scroll down my Instagram and it's like, oh, celebrating 4th of July on the 2nd because I have to work 2 days. You know, when the kids were younger. I just miss so much. I remember.
Yeah. It's gross.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah. You were, that was nice of them to give you Sunday morning instead of making you close Sunday night.
Yeah.
That was,
sure.
they did you a fucking favor on that one.
And I remember planning the kids' birthday parties and stuff, and I would just like sweat hoping they'd give me a Sunday afternoon off. It's terrible.
Yeah, you'd have to work all morning and then rush around and get the last minute things, grab the cake, come home.
Or you know what they would do is they'd make you close Saturday night. Yeah, so then you're exhausted Sunday, the whole party, and then you're back on Monday morning.
Yeah.
Oh, retail.
Yeah.
So Jenna, her first line is exactly why we're talking about it this week. Set boundaries and stick to them.
Yeah.
I thought she was very good. So she now works with Abby up at Poppy Cakes.
Yeah.
I know they have a great thing going there. I try to visit them once a month.
Yeah.
But my waistline can only handle so many sugar cookies because they're so good. And I just don't buy sugar cookies. I get everything else.
You got to get
amazing
4 sugar cookies and a couple cupcakes and some donuts or whatever else they got behind the case.
Oh, gosh. But I remember she was very good when she worked at the bakery where we all met because it would be like, here's my hours. Like, this is what... I'm working the morning is what I'm doing. I think maybe every once in a while she would stay a little bit late, but she was very good at that. Yeah, very good. Call in when you're sick. Take your time off.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yes, that is. Like I said, they can survive a day without you. They're not going to close the doors because you're not there.
Yeah.
Will everybody else be a little stressed out? Yes. But as long as you're not a chronic caller offer, like... they understand,
Yep.
I never felt bad. One time I left work and went to the hospital, and that's when I found out I was having
the gallbladder
issues. And everyone's like, geez, Cass, you really wanted to leave work, huh? You went to the hospital? Like, why didn't you just leave work? And I'm like, okay, yeah, because I just do that all the time, guys. Yeah.
So that is a problem with gaining friends in retail.
Yeah.
Because then they're worried about you. So actually, if you don't make any friends in retail, you can lie about what you're doing and nobody's going to care.
You know what? That's probably some of the best advice I could give somebody is, I worked the front end for a long time. And there's 75 people up there easy. Don't let none of them mother effers friend you on Facebook or any of your social medias, because they'll be telling on you.
Yeah, very true. So I also would like to remind everyone that when you call off, you do not have to give a reason.
You don't.
You could, because we're all chatters and we like to say the reason, but you don't have to fake being sick.
Yeah.
Many, many times I would answer the phone. They'd be like, hey, I'm not coming in.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that.
And
just
then
tell
they were
me.
fine the next
Yeah,
day.
just tell me.
Yeah.
Because guess what? A lot of you I'm friends with on Facebook and Instagram, I saw you at the Cubs games,
Yeah.
okay?
We saw you at the Pride Parade. We saw you at the football game.
Yes.
We saw you partying it up with your friends.
I'll never forget that I saw somebody on the TV on a Cubs game while I was sitting on lunch. I'm like, you're feeling good now, aren't you? I don't care. Just call off.
You know what? Because if you, I feel like I, as a manager, would always try to give every request off, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. You guys can fight me on it if you think I'm lying about that. But I would always, I didn't care if I had to go in and be a cashier that day because I gave 4 people the day off because there was a Cubs game and they all had tickets and they're all friends and they all want to go.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting married. Okay, yeah. I remember we went to another store to support them. There was a group of us because somebody was getting married and everybody
wanted to go.
Friends. Yeah. So it's why is that such a big freaking deal? We all have private lives. We all have a life to live, and corporate acts like you should just be robots. You should be open availability, although they're only going to give you 15 or 20 hours a week, which is bullshit. Mm-hmm. And then they complain they can't find anybody to work. It's so stupid. I hate working at the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad now how I get to do it. Monday through Friday, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, oh, let me get your number. I was like, no, because you're not calling me on Saturday. You're not calling me on Sunday. You're not calling me after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You can have my email.
And you're a little bit creepy, so.
Well.
Oh, that's a different story. Okay. So my friend Charlie. My friend Charlie is disabled. With an extremely rare disease, but is back in retail. So very excited to listen and to see what others have to say about this.
Yeah.
So that's some of the advice that was given on our Facebook page. I think we had a few more over on Instagram too. But I just wanted to remind everyone. And then, I also looked something else up here. 5 ways to separate work and home life. These are quick ones. Probably something that we've already touched on. Remind yourself that your job is what you do, not who you are.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so I have 2 thoughts on that because, if I were to walk up to you, I didn't know anything about you and I said, oh, well, what do you do?
Yeah.
Right? I feel like you could say, oh, I work in retail, but then maybe a doctor would say, oh, I'm in pulmonary or I'm in, that is kind of more specific of who they are. I feel like they work to that. I don't know if retail's different. What do you think?
Well, after you pay $300,000 in schooling, you're going to be like, I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
That is who you are now.
Not that we shouldn't be proud of saying we work retail.
No, but we just don't care.
We just don't want to talk about it.
We're
separating life from work.
I recently told one of my nephews too, work is what you do to get what you want in life. It's not the only thing you do. Don't let it rule your life. Don't let it overrun your life.
Yep.
There's times that it's okay to be available and help out when needed. Hence, when we went to the other store for the wedding.
Right.
But there's times to put up those walls and say no.
Yep.
And if you feel like they're going to retaliate, go find a job somewhere else. Jesus, they're a dime a dozen now. A
lot of people are looking
and
hiring.
And probably if you move to a different place, you'll probably instantly get $1 or $2 raise. Don't forget that either.
Who did we just have that conversation with?
Our friend.
Yeah. We did, right?
Yes, because I was telling her, I was like, "This is the best thing I could do." I walked out that door and I made $10,000 more a year.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We were just talking about
and now I make even more than that.
And then some people are saying, why are we giving bonuses to people that they're hiring? Give the bonuses to people that have been there for 17 years.
Right. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
When Julia was applying for a job, she was like, "Oh, I would love to work there." And I reminded her, "Do not love the job. Love what it gives you.
Yeah.
Love what it gives you."
It would be great if you loved your job and it paid your bills well and gave you the life you wanted, but it's just very unrealistic. Like as a society, we make work so ridiculous and overwhelming. Like, I feel like it's very rare that happens.
Yes, agreed. So the next one says, create routines for the work to home transition. I feel like this is very important. Like, for me, when we worked where we met, they would play kind of cool music, sometimes oldies, sometimes whatever, or they would play Christmas music, holiday music, whatever. And then I would get in my car, and even though I had Sirius radio, some of those same songs would come on.
Yeah.
So then I would not realize I'm driving home listening to them. I was then still thinking about work. So then I learned a couple years later, I would immediately shut off the song that I would hear at work. Yeah. So I feel like blasting your own music, blasting different music, doing things like that for that work to home transition could be very helpful as well. It says, listen to affirmations or inspiring podcasts or the Clopen effect. So here you are.
Listen to ours.
That's perfect. If you drive, take the more scenic route home just to kind of...
No, I want to hurry.
Really?
Get me home.
Okay, so they're wrong then. Who is this? ConfidentLife.com.
You know what?
They're
My
wrong.
whole thing is it was 91 degrees today and I have leather seats. I wanted to get out of that car so fast and peel my clothes off of my back and my ass because I was sweating on the way home.
That makes sense.
Although every once in a while we do have two routes I can take, right? Either go through town or go next to the river.
Oh, yeah.
And they're about the same time, although I did prove to neighbor Eric that my way was faster through town. And it was much faster. I was out of the car, stood there for like 2 minutes waiting for him, finally started opening the door, and then he pulled up, and I was like, bro, that took way longer, Because it's like 25 miles an hour by the river. Every once in a while, I will go that way just because the traffic is horrendous through town. But it's nice and shady through there.
Yeah. So I don't know that I would take that. I'm only 5 miles from where we used to work. I don't know. I don't remember taking like a scenic route.
No.
But I do remember on the first like crisp fall day, windows rolled down, just out in the open, blasting music. Yeah. And that was real, just refreshing on the way home.
They're putting all the autumn candy out.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah. I was like, stop. I don't want to complain yet that I'm cold. I want to keep complaining that I'm hot.
So not to get too serious on this, but it says plan some exercise. Maybe take a walk. Stopping at a yoga studio. That's the last thing I wanted to do when I was in retail.
Yeah.
And walking is also the last thing that I would want to do in retail. But
that's what I do all day.
But I did it. I would do my 5 miles before going to work. Yes, I'd be tired at the end of the day.
I
didn't. It's here. No, they can go take a look at it.
Everybody get your exercise.
But if truly though, they do have, about diet and exercise and stuff that we all know that it's good for us. So maybe on your day off, go for a walk just to kind of clear your head.
On your day off, don't drink 4 cups of coffee.
Yeah, just drink 4 mimosas or Bloody Marys because it's your day and you can do whatever you want.
Bloody Marys are healthy. They got vegetables and tomato juice in them. Yeah.
So this is a good one. It says once you get home, immediately change your clothes from work to fun.
I absolutely
work to fun.
do.
Or work to home.
The first thing I do, I walk in the door, I kick off my girls' shoes, I rip off my clothes and put on comfy clothes, and then I wash my hands and brush my teeth.
Yes.
Like, that's immediately what I do.
I'm a teeth brusher, too, to kind of like refresh,
it's
re-cleanse,
because your mouth is all nasty.
Yeah.
Like, you got coffee breath from this morning. I'm a smoker, so I'm like smoky coffee breath.
Yeah.
And I eat mints and gum throughout the day, but that's just like sugar in your mouth, so then it makes it even worse. So there's like a coating in your mouth.
I remember my mom telling me years ago she is a snacker.
Yeah.
So if she really just wanted to try not to snack at night, like she likes maybe like some M&Ms or something. This was years ago. I don't know if it's the same. She would brush her teeth.
Yeah.
Because she wouldn't want to put like a little chocolate or snack because you have that minty clean feeling.
I have heard that. Okay. But see, that's my problem is I brush my teeth as soon as I get home. Then I'm like,
But
all
then
right,
what's
what are
for
we
dinner?
doing for dinner? I'm starving. I didn't eat lunch today, or I only had a couple snacks today. You know, like,
but again, that was your work to your home, though.
Yes.
You weren't thinking about work. You were thinking about, after you brushed your
Yeah.
teeth, you were thinking about what was dinner.
Dinner.
Which is home.
Yeah.
So it says, imagine a mental barrier. So this might be hard because sometimes work customers, rude customers, whatever, they
Yeah.
really can get to you. So if you're a visual person, having that mental barrier that rises when you start work and lowers when you leave so that you can then go into your home, safe haven.
No, see, because I like to come home and then be like, Johnny, you'll never guess what this person did today. You can't believe how much of idiots these drivers are.
Which is amazing because the next one says, limit work discussions at home and vice versa. What did we do in the store today? You were talking about Johnny going up north. And then now here we're talking about work. We're the opposite.
We are the opposite. I would agree with the vice versa, like limit your home talk at work because people don't really need to know all your business. Like, I am shocked sometimes.
How are we going to make friends?
Okay, that's fine. You can be friendly to people and you don't have to tell them about your weird sores on your feet or like people are oversharers.
Lord, I am too TMI. I am too TMI with people.
And there's times that I've literally told somebody something and immediately regretted it. Like, fuck, I shouldn't have said that. I'm an oversharer too. But
me too.
If I had sores on my feet, I would not tell anybody. I would keep it to myself.
I was just telling someone in 2016 when I ran that 100 miles with my friend Christine. She was on here. We talked about ClickList and all that, right? Or something. What is that called?
Yeah, it was ClickList. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I was literally just telling someone on Friday how and they were like, well, how do you prepare for that, or how do you get better? I'm like, I don't know. My feet were leaking when I was done, and I immediately was like, we're eating lunch right now. Okay.
Oh my god, I don't even feel like that's that bad.
Who cares?
I've always said the more people you meet, the more opportunities open up to you. So just like meet the people, but shut your mouth after.
I mean, they're the ones that ask the question, like, what happens after? Well, this is what happened after.
Let your work.
I had to sleep with a towel on my feet.
You don't have to tell them about the sores on your feet or the sores on your ass. Just let your work speak for itself.
Oh gosh. So this one kind of goes with the one that was like number 2. It says practice mindfulness and build self-awareness. I feel like we could just bundle that all into saying, I am leaving work now. I am not going to think about work. And actually say it out loud, maybe.
Yeah.
That's
also like, stop telling people so much about yourself. Mindfulness.
Right. Right. So true. So true.
Like, yeah.
Obviously it says, like when you walk in the door, take a few deep breaths. Okay. I am home. And this is it. Now, this is another thing. Here's another thing for couples or those with families. When the person that has been working 10 days in a row walks into the house and they have 2 days off, let them have 15 minutes to themselves.
Yeah.
Like if your parents are with kids, I get it. Like you've probably also been with those kids all day for 10 days in a row.
Yeah.
Let each other just go deep breaths. Give me 15 minutes. Let me go brush my teeth.
Yeah.
Let me go change my clothes into my home clothes.
Right.
And then, maybe you talk a little bit about work. How was it? It sucked. Okay, good. Let's move on. So maybe we could think about that too. Just give each other a few minutes. We don't have to be on top of each other.
We all know that my husband is retired now, right?
Yeah.
And I walk in the door from work and he's like in my face, like, how was work? And then he's like to the dog, like, oh, Nikki, go say hi to mom. And I'm like, just give me a minute. And then he wants to tell me about everything he did that day. And I'm just like,
15 minutes. No. Everyone needs 15 minutes.
Sometimes I just walk away and go to the bathroom and then he's still talking. He doesn't even know I'm gone.
Poor Johnny.
I know. And then he's like, did you hear that? And I was, yeah.
I've heard people say, well, didn't you just have the car ride home? Didn't you just have 30 minutes to get home?
Super relaxing when I got people cutting me off.
Yeah, that's not relaxing. Let's all just give each other 15 minutes. Seriously, think about it. Think about it, everybody. Just
Fighting for my life on my ride home every day.
Yeah.
Super relaxing.
Well, hopefully that helped a little bit.
I hope you all could relax a little
Yeah.
listening to
Like
us
Jenna said,
complain.
and it's so true. It's all about boundaries.
It is.
It really is. And you make them yourself as well. Mindfulness. Like, I'm going to work these 40 hours or whatever, 50, 60 hours if you're in retail, right? But just enjoy your day off. Don't check your phone. Turn your notifications off.
Yeah.
No one needs you. The place isn't going to burn down.
Yeah.
It was there before you.
It can
It'll
wait
be
till
there
tomorrow.
after.
Yep.
Yes,
It can wait till you get
absolutely.
back.
I don't know how many people, well, many of my friends are retail or whatever, and they will get a phone call from someone at work.
Yeah.
There is someone else there.
Yeah.
There's if you're the store director, maybe you do want to know
if it's on
your
fire.
store is burning down.
Yeah.
But you know what, really?
Other than that,
You don't.
I just
You
found
don't
out.
need to know.
I found out today that one of my bosses is on vacation, so I think I'll call him tomorrow because it never fails. Every time I'm on vacation, he calls me,
Oh, no.
and he always goes, "Oh, I forgot you're on vacation." I go, "Yeah, okay.
No.
What do you need?"
No, he didn't.
I stopped answering. I was like, "Nope." And
Yeah.
maybe I'll give him a courtesy text, like, "I'll see you Monday,"
Yeah.
But sometimes I just ignore him. But maybe I'll call him tomorrow.
Oh, I forgot you were on vacation.
Oh my God, you're on vacation? I didn't know. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And, actually, when we were on vacation in Florida, one of your bosses reached out to you and you
Yes.
wrote, "I'm sorry, I'm on vacation. I'll handle it when I get back." Or you
Yeah.
did. You set your boundary,
I
which
did.
was excellent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
And then
Proud
he
of
tried
you.
to give me shit about it, and I was like, "Bro, I just want to answer the phone.
I think
Don't
he
mess
gave
with
you
me."
shit about it. You didn't
Yeah.
respond.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done.
Yep.
You set
Yeah.
your boundary. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks.
That's amazing.
I can be a bitch sometimes.
Absolutely not. That's not. See, okay, let's talk about that too. That's not about being a bitch.
I mean,
It's
you kind of have
setting
to.
boundaries.
You kind of got to be a bitch to make it happen, but it's not. You're not being a bitch.
No, you're
but yeah.
not. All right, I have two animal stories that I want to
Oh,
share.
okay.
Yeah,
All right,
just something
yeah.
completely different.
All right.
So,
Oh God, I already know what the one is, and I just remembered what the one is because you texted me and Bestie about
so
it.
the first one is I loop 5 miles, a
Yeah.
lot. And I was a little bit later on Saturday. Did we go out on Sunday? No, did we? I'm sorry. Did we go
went
out
out
on
on
Friday?
Saturday.
Oh, we went out on Saturday.
We went out on Saturday.
Oh, Steve and I went out and saw one of our favorite local bands, Mike and Joe. They're so
On
good.
Friday.
On Friday
Yes.
night. Yeah, we were at Lake Zurich Days. And so I slept in a little bit. I had some coffee. Actually, I had 2 cups of coffee on Saturday morning and decided to run around 8:30 in the morning.
It's because you knew we were going out Saturday too.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
I was like, no, but I wanted to get a run in before Brianna's bridal shower.
That was so much fun.
Amazing. So I go for a run. I start going down, and I'll remind everyone, if you haven't listened to our other episodes, we're in cornfield land. We're in the Midwest. And I am listening to my AirPods, and I look forward, and a coyote starts crossing the road.
God.
And he sees me. Now I'm gonna say something here. We had Country Thunder by us here.
Oh yes.
It brings so many cars in our area.
Yes.
So usually, number one, I feel safe because there's so many people, so many cars. They're zooming past, probably not doing the speed limit, but whatever. So usually I don't worry about animals, deers, coyotes, foxes, because
Yeah.
the cars keep them away
Yeah.
in the cornfields. So I'm running and he crosses and I think to myself, there's got to be a car coming. It's like 8:30 in the morning. No one.
No car.
And he stops
And
pretty
you're running
much.
towards him.
Yes, and I'm running towards him. So he crosses in front of me and he stops and looks at me. And I'm like, shit, I am in the middle of nowhere and we're having a standoff. So I stood there
Oh, God.
and he just looked at me and I was like, there's got to be a car coming soon. There's got to be a car coming. So it felt like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
What do? I'm like, okay, well, he's still looking at me and there's no cars coming. Usually we have big semis, we have a tractor, something's coming down.
Something.
I bend down to pick up a rock
Yeah.
because I'm thinking if he thinks I'm a threat, then he thought I was a threat because I bent down.
Yeah.
What a dumbass. He turns towards me and he's looking at me
Oh God.
and kind of like,
did you throw a rock at him?
I did not.
Why did you bend down? Why didn't you put your arms up and go?
Yeah,
"Ah!"
absolutely. No,
Yeah.
wasn't thinking.
No.
Wasn't thinking. I'm
No.
like, well, if he starts coming, at least I'll I can get him with something. Which sounds mean, but truly I was protecting myself. I
Yeah.
had no idea.
Yeah.
If he had, what is it called? Mange or what is it called?
Rabies?
Rabies, yeah. So then he kind of turned, and then finally, which let's just say this was truly only 3 seconds long. It was not as long as this story that I'm telling. Cars started coming by again, and then he went off into the
good.
cornfields.
Yeah.
But then my decision was, do I run past it? Is there a den there? Is he going to come back out? But I ran past it.
Yeah, coyotes kind of freak me out.
A little
because
bit.
They're dogs,
Yeah,
right?
a
They're
little
the same
bit.
as dogs. If they get a hold of your leg or something.
Yeah. So that's my first animal story.
I don't even want to talk about the second one. It's
The second one, it does have a somewhat happy ending. So
I don't even know about that. No, it is a very sad story.
Hold on one second. I'm gonna, because I have to do a shout out to Flint Creek Wildlife Rehabilitation.
Okay.
Because Steve and I, this is Sunday morning now. So Saturday morning was the
Yes.
coyote. Sunday morning, Steve and I are standing, just chatting in the driveway. And all of a sudden we hear a big like, boom, boom, boom. Like, and he was like, what is that? And this pretty big nest is in the middle of our driveway.
Oh, God.
And then I hear cries.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God. No, you didn't tell me about that.
Oh, there were cries. And I thought I had seen something fly away from the tree. So what I think happened is a bird tried to get the baby squirrels.
Oh, my God.
And it knocked the nest. So we had 3 baby squirrels in our yard.
Oh, God.
In Steve's truck and on the driveway.
Oh, God.
I know, it's terrible. It's terrible.
I hate it.
And so I immediately sent a message to my friend because I knew she would know, and I'd be like, oh my God, there's baby squirrels everywhere. Who do I call? And she said, Flint Creek Wildlife Rehabilitation. So I texted them. They were fantastic. They told me what to do. So unfortunately, we did lose one. But what we did was we closed everything and we left the area that
the
mama squirrel went and did get the 2 that were crying.
What the
But
hell?
unfortunately, we lost one.
Oh, my God.
So it was super sad. But I just wanted to give a shout out because they helped me through it all. They said, okay, mom's going to do this. We're going to introduce, we're going to reintroduce the babies to the mom. And, this is what we're going to do. But fortunately, this mom squirrel was super smart. And by the time we went back outside to check on what was happening, she had already got her babies.
But what
and
did
brought
she
them up
do
to the
with
tree.
them if her nest was gone?
I'm certain she built a nest quick because as I was standing there, leaves were like kind of falling. Like I am certain she rebuilt. And
my God,
because I didn't hear
so
them.
Depressed now.
No, don't be depressed. So unfortunately, we did lose one, but the other 2. This morning, I went outside and I'm like listening, and it sounded like birds, and all of a sudden, I was like, that kind of sounds like baby cries.
Oh my God.
So I was like, oh, they're still there. They're just calling for their mom. She probably went to go get them food or however that works. So I learned a lot about coyotes and squirrels.
Every time I see a possum dead on the side of the road, I assume it has babies in its belly because, they're marsupials and they carry them inside of their pouch. And I'm like, I just know there's babies in that little possum that's dead on the side of the road. And I want to cry every single time.
I have never thought of that.
Well,
Now I
you will
am
now.
super depressed.
You know what? With how much I drive, how many animals I see.
I saw a
so
baby
depressing.
raccoon today, too, on my run.
All right, that's it. We're done. I'm leaving now.
Hey, but you know what I think we just did? We took everybody away from their work thoughts.
Yes.
So there you go.
You weren't thinking about
You're
work.
welcome.
You were crying, but it wasn't about your shitty job.
Yes, we will end it there. Amazing. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Bye, guys.
We'll
Love
talk to you
you.
next week.
Bye.
See ya.
Baby squirrels. Baby possums.
Oh, my gosh.
Baby raccoons.
This podcast is brought to you by NameTag Productions, LLC. Entire podcast, unless otherwise stated, written by the hosts. The Clopen Effect, a retail podcast. If we have to be all in this together, we might as well make it fun.